next part is calculation of net income activity. So I'm logging into the system. 1 second. So for you all access has been shared. You'll get the access. Okay. You can take and start logging to the system. Going to here. So my version is B66. Physical year is 2023. We are doing for 12 consolidation chart of Y1. And our version is B66W. You have to cite. So here, now the calculation of net income. So calculation of net income is a step where whenever you run the calculation of net income, your revenue and expenses, okay, the balances will go to current year retained earnings account. So we have done the in the standard best practice system. So in the standard best practice system, here you can see if I go to a configuration here, Ashen SPRO, here you can see there is a configuration to update my current year retained earnings account. Okay, this is default values. And then in different consolidation, different specify selected FS item for automatic posting. Okay, here we will have S_ANF as a role. Okay, here we have not called the FS item, we called the role. Okay, let's see that role is assigned to which one. How we will check? I'll go and open another tab, go to FS item app. In the FS item, we have to search for this role. Okay, this role we have to search in FS item. So here if I search FS item role, what is been assigned? We have not assigned FS item. We have assigned in this particular FS item an FS item role S-AN-BS. So wherever I call this, it will going to pick this particular FS item. That is the purpose of 7 selection attributes. 7 selection attributes in the FS item. Say here, if you see the configuration, we have used S-AN-BS. That means this is my current year retained earnings account. Okay, 31700. The same way, it should credit or debit a P&L FS item. So P&L FS item is this. So P&L FS item, again, if I search for P&L FS item, it will be 799000. Got it? So based on your credit or debit balance, which will appear for revenue minus expenses, system will debit and or credit this, and it will hit to my current year retained earnings account. Okay. So this is an entry which will post. That means whatever the profit you earned or loss you made, it is moving to a retained earnings account because we are going for a closing. That is the step will happen when I run this particular step. So from this step, from where the FS items are going to pick, these are picked from this particular node.
Along with that, in that screen, there is sub-item and sub-item category also maintained. So what is exactly the purpose of those two additionally?
Obviously, sub-item category is required for every transaction you post. That is, we explain only. For balance sheet, it will come as 1. For P&L, it will come as 2.
Yeah. So to exclude the balance carry forward from AC Doc A, are you doing any settings over here?
No. This balance carry forward you do only once in a year in AC Doc. You don't do every month. Here, this activity we are performing every month. Even if you do in the year end, I told the system will not going to brought that data. We have to run a balance carry forward in group reporting because you have done some additional adjustments. So you would have done a lot of activities here. We cannot take that data. So that is the reason we have a step here where we do separately.
Right. So we don't have to do anything separately for this, for exclusion, right? I mean, the standard by default,
Yes.
Okay.
See here, it is picking the same FS item which you have seen 31700 to 7990. Because we are revenue minus expense, we are getting the profit of value. System is moving this value to here. Okay. This is a value in BP66. How with this value? We have loaded the entire data in the SS session. If you see in AC docu table for the version B66 sub-item category S2. Okay. And consolidation unit as BB66. So if I take what is the value here? Any other values are same. You have to see. You have to 25 credit balance. This is your balance. Okay. I have done it in a test run. So the same balance is debited to this account and moving to current year return earnings. Fine. Okay. I'll place the cursor here. and do the update. So this will going to post an entry, which we will see the entry also. Now it has posted an entry. If I say here refresh, your P&L will become 0. See, now the balance is 0. Okay. System has posted an entry 40024, 40024. Okay. Where system, no, sorry, not this 40024. This is return earning rate. So it has posted here entry. You can see here. So this is an entry 100055 280520 debit value. Earlier credit is debited, so the balance is 0. And it has updated the corresponding FS item is a balance sheet. That is the reason we are seeing only the P&L 799,000 is what it is posted. Fine. Anybody any doubt in this?
So it posts the consolidated value, not to the line by line debit and credit. Actually, the credit. Okay.
The summarization in AC Doc U is done at what level? I mean, because we can't even see, not even at the profit center level.
Not even, what do you mean by summarization? It will not at the profit
No,
center.
if you look at
when data flowed, it flowed like that only, right?
So can you please go to my AC Doc U table?
Here you don't need a return earnings to be. Here you're just moving the balances. Here you don't need this line. See, for example, if you see this line 7990, it has posted 28052 400 and this one. This is for this.
But basically I'm the looking for any profits and what all the other parameters, attributes over here. I'm not talking about retained earnings. I'm talking about the AC Doc A, the original entries when it was pushed to AC Doc U. At what level it was summarized?
I've showed you, right, sir. Whatever the configuration you have done according to cost center, profit center, I showed you consolidation master data field. Accordingly, system will summarize and do it. System will not have default. You have to do a configuration. If you wanted to summarize at cost center, profit, or if you want only at FS item level, however you want, you do a configuration. I showed that configuration also.
So do we have the profit center in this?
No, yes, obviously. We have profit center in this. We have loaded profit center.
Okay. That is done. Okay.
So here, in order to show it to you, all the things are been in the same profit center PC4. Okay. You here see, whenever it does, you have to observe here, it has done based on your return earnings account also went based on a profit center. Here, if you see 7990, three rows came. Why 3 rows came? If you scroll to right and see, there are profit center level. Okay. If you see at the profit center where I was showing, for all these entries, PC4 is a profit center, it came here. Whereas for this PC1, this is the entry. For this PC2, this is the entry. That's how system posted. See here, for this one, this is the entry. This one, this is the entry. Where even when return earning accounts are moving, it is trying to summarize at least by profit center and moving the data to here. Because we don't have any cost center updated in any of the transactions. We have not updated a cost center, we have not loaded. So a profit center object is there. So obviously it takes a profit center and it has loaded. Got it? I'm talking of return earnings account. Whenever you do a return earnings also, it is not just going to club. It FS item combination of profit center, what is the balance? That many rows it got credited or debited and it updated to your balance sheet account. Okay.
So, but the original postings went to PC4, right? But the retained earnings, I think it went to PC2. Is it not?
What is this FS item I selected? These are the 3 documents. What is FS item? 7990. This is FS item. 3 rows.
Okay, the rest are balance sheet accounts.
Here I am taking only P&L only. I have not taken any balance sheet. This I have filtered only for P&L.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we see the data once again, please? Yes, here.
You can see it.
Amount in group currency. There are these many things on these accounts, and then there is a posting of 285,000, and then debit and credit for the so 285 is actually sum of all the previous postings, right? The 64,000 and above.
Yes.
Okay. And the previous postings are just to cancel out the original posting of debit and credit if in the P&L, so that they are 0. 285 is consolidated. Then what is this 400 and 400 debit credit and 1000 debit credit separately?
Sir, when I'm explaining, please begin here. I explained already this part. There is a separate profit centers have been done. PC1, PC2. PC1 is what we posted this entry. PC2 is what we posted this entry, which is having 1000 and 400. So based on the profit center, this is a PC1, which is credited to this FS item. This is a PC2. This is an entry event here.
These are actually the ECC profit centers, right?
Yes, not
Yeah, so
ECC,
you
S for
should-
HANA Profit Center.
as for profit center, while the other posting has been done for the Excel file you loaded, right?
Yes.
Yes, so that's what was missing link in my understanding. Okay. So, okay. And this PC4R, which 285,000, this is inclusive of PC1 and PC2 data also, right? Along with the other flat file PCs. 285,052, right? This data is the retained earning, correct?
Sir, these three all return earnings. 7990 is
these three,
posted.
okay.
These are three return earnings.
Okay, so flat file you loaded with PC4R only.
Yes.
Okay, okay. We did not see that file that carefully. Okay, understood.
So this is what our calculation of net income step does. Okay. Next. So this in generic you have to tell here whatever your P&L balances are there, it will credit or debit your P&L account and it move to the current year return earnings account based on the configuration done here. Okay. To which FS item you have to do is the configuration is available here. So for that it will going to move it. Okay. Now coming back to the next part. Next step here is validation of reported data. Okay. Validation of reported data. That means you got it. Now you calculated everything. You are fine now. Get with the data. This data, whatever you are having, you can do a validation, including your doc and AC doc view. This validation talks of universal journal. Just check the universal data. The AC doc or table data came to AC doc view only. Here, you are going to put some formulas based on your requirement. Okay. And you run those formulas and make sure that whether my balances are tallied. Say, for example, my current year, for example, the whatever we run return earnings, right? So the return earnings is equal to what is the balance is what now current year return earnings to net income. It should be balanced. For example, or your asset is equal to liability plus owner's equity. This is the basic logics, or if you have any specific logics where this FS item should be greater than this value or whatever it is you wanted to validate, because you cannot go on table level and validate. Our business cannot validate. So you can make a formula for that and run this particular step to get the validations. Okay. So that is what is validation for reported data. Let me go back to the presentation. Okay. See, validation key points. What is this validation? This will check a data quality is essential for effective and efficient consolidation. Whatever data you are having, you are checking the quality of it. Validation is run from data monitor and consolidation monitor. This validation can be run both in data monitor as well as in consolidation monitor. So now we are talking data monitor. There are two main type of validation. One is validation of release of universal journal data. Okay, validation of release of universal. That means you are validating the data which you are doing the release of universal journal data. Okay, that is validation. Then data validation. Then data validation is the one what we are doing. Say earlier, as I said, validation of universal journal is what we have done. And data validation is where you have a three type of validation. One is reported data, standardized data, consolidated data. In data validation, there are three types. One is reported data, standardized data, and consolidated data. That means you do at different levels if you wanted to do it. One is reported data, means the one what we are doing is reported data. That means whatever data we have taken is reported data, and this will run in company code currency. That is whatever local currency you are having, not company code currency, consolidation unit currency, it will going to happen. Next is standardized data. Standardized data normally you run after your currency translation on group currency value, you run it. Okay. Next, consolidated data. That means once you do a consolidation, you can also put some formulas and run a consolidated data. That is what consolidated data. Okay. That means there are two main types. One is validation of universal journal and the data validation. In data validation, three types: reported, standard, and consolidated. The one what we are doing is reported data. So validation of universal journal data, this is anyhow we have already done. This is only relevant if data collection method for consolidation is read from universal journal. The validation of universal journal, which we did in while closing, this is only for your universal data. It is possible to correct the submitted data manually using manual journal posting with document type level 0C adjustment for unit. That means whatever data comes from here, if in the validation, if you wanted to do, you can do adjustment in group reporting. If there is an error, subsequent tasks cannot be blocked in the thread. That means even if it is error, you can go and proceed to the next step. Okay. This is again a program validation. There is no configuration for that. That is the reason I didn't explain any configuration. It is a program part which does. Validation of universal journal checks if error exists in universal journal in the form of missing or incorrect sub-assignment for FS item. This also I told us, when are we going to get the errors? There is a mismatching in FS item or breakdown category you have not done properly. In those cases only. This is the part of your universal journal validation, which we have already completed. Now we are doing a data validation. So in that, what there it is just the data came, whether all mapping is available, all that is what it is going to check. In data validation, whatever data already there in a AC docu, okay, for that we are going to check with some formulas. Like for example, check if asset is equal to liability plus owner equity. This is one of the step. Or check if net annual income is equal to current year retained earnings. That means net income, that whatever we have moved from my P&L to this, but this is, it has been equal. Okay. Then account payable is less than 10% of cash. I'm just saying these are the formulas which we wanted to validate. Okay. These formulas we have to configure in the system and link that validation method to our task. Upon that, we can use it for run and the system will validate it. Clear? See, reported data validation checks local currency value and postings levels 0001 and 0C. That means reported data when we run in the standard, it checks for local currency values and posting level 0001 and 0C. That means I said every document which we post into the system will have a document type, and that document type is connected with a posting level. Okay, that means what type of data is that it identifies. So it is, this is a 3 type of data which will check when I do a reported data. Okay, next, standardized data. Delta validation checks local currency or group currency and posting level 0001 0C and 10. That means this will check in local currency or group currency, and posting level additionally added here as a 10. Okay, what is posting level? We will understand in detail in the going session. As I said, a document type connected to a posting level. Posting level helps in identifying what type of documents you have posted. Say, for example, in elimination, I can post 20 transactions I may do. But overall, if you have to see what is that identify, and an elimination, a posting level identify it. Consolidated data validation checks group currency and all posting levels. Consolidation is once you do your consolidation, you wanted to validate, that is check for group currency and it is for all posting levels. Data validation has dedicated log in SAP memory. That means whenever we run, it will have a log created that whether it is successful, error, warning, whatever you want, you can set it for that. Okay.
Yeah, one question here, that till now we have not done any currency translation. So reported, we can do the validation, but standardized and consolidate, we cannot do that validation as of now.
That is in that we have not went to that step. That is a separate step. Here the step what we are referring is only if you see the task ID, it says validation of reported data. Okay. Once you do translation here, there is a validation of standardized data. Okay.
Okay.
So first now we have to define a validation rule. Okay. In the validation rule, we have to set up the validation rule. Okay. And after setting up the validation rule, we have to make the assignment of this validation rule to validation method. Okay. Once we assign that, then we have to link it to our specific tile, and then we have to run the step. Okay. These are the activities which we have to do. First, we have to create a validation rule, and then I have to create a validation group, and that validation group contains multiple formula. Every activity what we do, I'll go here, define validation rule. Okay. So in the validation rule, okay, before I start doing it, if I have to explain, see here, there are SAP delivered validation rules also. These are all SAP delivered, whatever you are seeing here, these few are the SAP delivered. Okay. SAP delivered validation rules. Okay. So if you have to, we will configure one validation rule now. I'll say create rule, a basic rule, I'll say. Okay. Compound rule is combining the basic rule. First, you have to set up a basic rule. Upon that, you wanted to do something. That is where the additional rule comes. So B66 VR I'll give as a validation rule. B66 VR is my validation rule. Okay. So again, your data source is group reporting, on which data says it has to check. Okay. Here, whether you want a error or warning, what you wanted to set it. Okay. That is what we are going to do it here. Okay. So if you say, if you wanted to group by any account number, anything level 1, level 2, that is the option. Here, what I want here is, I wanted to make, what I am going to make it, current year return earnings is equal to FS item. Okay, that is 317000 is equal to this one, where my balance sheet item, say for example here, I'll say BS, okay, so of YTD year to date, okay, amount, okay, where FS item, financial statement item, okay, you can use any of this. I'll say it as a value. Okay, what is the value? 31700000. What is that FS item? 00. What is other FS item? 31. You are 700. 31700. Okay, and I'll add additional criteria where sub item as 915, where sub item value as 915. See, if you see what I'm trying to validate here is the FS item 31700. This is the FS item where my sub item is 915. It will group this 915, 31700, 31700, my FS item, okay, and 915, because I need only one, so that is the reason I'm just making this. Okay, and say add apparent. Okay, I don't need this. I'll say backfix. Okay, this is an FS item. Now I'll come to the right side. Okay, in right side I'll say my P&L FS item. I'll say here P&L FS item. Okay, again some YTD. Okay, and then add your amount. Okay, and then where again your financial statement item value 799,000 and validate once 799, this 999,000, 799,000. Okay, and okay, got it? Is it clear? Okay, so here I'll say P&L. Okay, this is equal to, this should be equal to P&L, okay, multiplied by, okay, why I am putting multiply by? Because multiply by constant, multiply by constant, not to keep here, by minus. You got it? See, balance sheet is this. P&L may have a credit or debit balance. I'm just checking a equality. So that is the reason what I'm trying to do here is balance sheet multiply by value, multiply by minus 1.100. Clear? So that is how it will say it as equal. Okay, if it is not equal, it will throw an error message.
One thing that why P&L has been taken YTD instead of periodic?
Everything I've taken periodic YTD only because system does always, whenever I do a current year, you can take period or YTD. So anything would be fine. So it should be equal. At any point of time, it should not be. So even if you wanted to just check for periodic, you can select periodic also.
Okay. And second thing is when I'm putting the retained earning data in balance sheet, that time we are doing two things. One is we are multiplying with -1 and then putting it in the balance sheet. And along with that, we are then entering the retained earning with the same sign as P&L. So here
we are not multiplying by anywhere when you are putting the data. Based on your balances from P&L, it is moving to a balance sheet. It is a basic accounting. P&L will become 0 and then the balance will get transferred to return earning account. It already happened. Whatever happened, we are validating whether my return earnings to my entire revenue minus expense balances are equal or not, because that is a closing activity which I have to validate it. So for that reason, for balance sheet, I give the value, whatever the value it is. For P&L, why I'm doing a -1, it is a simple magic mathematics. If it is a debit balance, it will multiply and make a credit. If it is a credit balance, it multiply and make a debit balance. So that's how it will get matched with my balance sheet item. This is a simple mathematical formula where I multiply by -1 to make sure that it should be equal. Because I'm trying to check equal. Here if it is positive, if I don't add minus, if the credit balance, it will show negative. Then it will show error for me. I don't want to do that. That is the reason.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
I made it to multiply by -1 for a simple formula logic to make sure that both both values are matching.
This P&L can have debit balance also, right? So what
No,
are you
that
checking
will-
here? I mean,
Sir,
what you are trying
It's a
to check
basic
all the
formula. I'm just checking whether my return earnings to current year return earnings to my P&L balance, that is revenue minus expenses, what I've calculated, put it into is just what I'm validating.
Okay, in short, if I put it in business language, it will be for all P&L accounts are transferred to retained earning. That is what you are checking. If anything, due to any reason, anything is omitted, is it that is the validation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so P&L can have debit balance also, right? Then why you are
If the debit balance, what system will do? If debit balance, what it would do? It will do a credit and transfer to a return earnings, right?
no, the retained earnings can be a loss also, right?
Sir, you apply simple basic formula, sir. If I'm in loss, okay, revenue minus expenses will be a positive value, right? That positive value, if you have to transfer it to the return earnings, what it should do? It will credit in P&L first and debit the return earnings account. That is what the entry we have seen in the calculation of net income. Whatever P&L balance is there, if it is a credit, it has to debit so that P&L will become zero. That value we move to return earnings account by debiting, because you credited there, it is debiting here.
No,
If your
that is
P&L
okay. That is okay. Naveen, the thing is that maybe I might have made a mistake in that. It can be either of the situation, right? Either
that is the reason either of the situation is what I am multiplying by -1. If it is a debit balance, here it will be a credit in balance sheet. So if it multiply by -1, it become equal to balance sheet. Okay.
And
When I
other
am taking a
situation,
validation. Other situation, if it is a credit, if you multiply by -1, it become positive. That will equal to my balance sheet value. Here I'm not updating anything. Whatever the values have been posted, I'm just making the formula check. That is whether the both balances are matched. If it is a positive balance, if it is a negative balance, how can you say it is a equal? You cannot make it equal, right? If it is a positive balance in balance sheet and the negative balance in credit sheet, if I say take a validation of equal, how it will equal? It cannot ignore the -n and it cannot check, right? So that is the reason I'm multiplying by -1. If it is debit, it become negative by multiplying by -1. If it is credit, by multiplying -1, it become positive. That will check with the equality with my balance sheet value. So that is the reason it will become equal, right? Here, if you see what is my balance, here it will come my balance as a debit balance. If I say here it is debit balance of 7990, where what is sitting in my return earnings account as a credit balance. If I take this debit balance and compare with it, obviously it is positive, there it is a negative value. It will not say equal. So that is the reason whatever value it is coming, I'm trying to multiply in my formula by -1 so that the system, whatever credit will become positive. Then it will go here. Got it?
Okay, understood.
So now I have created a validation rule. Like this, you can create multiple validation rule. Okay. Once you create a validation rule, what you will do, you will go to your validation method. Okay. And you will going to set up a validation group. And then you link all that to so you may create multiple validations, right? Like this is the one formula which we have defined. Like this, first you have to save and activate this. Otherwise, you cannot use it.
We are facing one issue where the left-hand side has more decimal places and means the decimal places are more, because of which, due to rounding, these things are not exactly equal for two decimal places, which is the number of decimal places in group reporting. So because of which it is getting failed, the validation is getting failed. So I could see a tolerance area here. So can we put some sort of tolerance, say $1, $2, because the rounding issue only created $1, $2 kind of issue. Because of which, yes.
See, rounding part is what is you have posted in the finance by rounding to 2 decimals you have posted, right? So that value you have brought it to group reporting. That value, again, whatever the value is there, as it is, it will flow to group reporting. If you have made 6 decimals, I'm just telling, whatever the decimals you are trying to put it in the AC, the same values you are moving into group reporting, where you find a difference.
Okay, so this is then another story I have to tell you, that there is currency conversion happening.
Now I'm talking on only the validation of company code currency value. Currency translation, I told, there is a separate validation. Okay. There is a separate validation which we do for currency. This is a separate step in the data monitor also I showed. Validation of standardized data. Here where it does by group currency. Here it does only based on your company code currency. That is what we have understood earlier also. So now whatever validation we are running for company code currency only. Okay.
So we'll get anything related to tolerance later, because I want to understand that. So that is
the tolerance part is what you talk on the with respect to the, say for example, there is a set differences in this. Only assume that there is a differences whatever we have configured. Okay, in that there is a difference where you can set as a tolerance. If it's a $1 difference or $2 difference or $3 difference, you can ignore and proceed.
Yes. So we can do it here.
You can do it. That is what the option you find that there, right? You can do.
That's why I was asking that thing, that if we
can go on, you have an access here. When you go here, you can see SAP delivered rules also. There are multiple, starting with U and S series or SAP delivered. Okay. So where you can go and check here. See goodwill, gross value impairment. There are a lot of profit and losses balanced. Different rules given by SAP. You can go and validate in that. Here you have an option. I showed you right here. There is a tolerance part. Here you can see I have not put any tolerance. If I put one tolerance, system says, okay, what is the tolerance value which you want to put? You can say and or percentage also you can put. Okay, and which one to take. Okay, and then you can put that also. Okay. So here I'll come to validation method. Okay. Here when I come to validation method, I'll click on create method. Okay, validation method. Okay, here I'll say B66 validation method. So here when I create a validation method, here we will have a group. Okay, for example, however you wanted to add a group, you can add a structure. For example, if I have multiple validation rules, I wanted to make it balance sheet separate one group, and then again in balance sheet I wanted to divide and group. So you can add that many group here. Okay. So for example, I'll say B66 VG, I'll say validation group. Okay. Generally, I'm creating one validation group. Okay, if you wanted to make the group, you can make that many groups. Once you add that group, for that group, you will assign a rule. Okay, here what is the rule we created? B66 something, right? So we'll go and select our validation. This is one rule what we created. I'll select here. Okay. For example, if you wanted to group, you can. Why this group is when you run your validation, it groups by this. When it displays, it groups by this. So you can navigate down and check. If you have multiple, you can have a grouping created and do it. Again, activating this. Fine. So now once we have this validation method also, okay, assign validation method here where a task ID. Okay. For task ID, we have to assign a validation method. What is this task? Okay, this task is, what is task? Can anybody tell what is task?
All those activities in data monitor, those are individual tasks.
Yes. Okay. Now for 1080 is what the step we are running, right? If I go here, this is 1080 is the step what we are running. Okay, this is a task ID. So in the app, we selected 1080 reported data validation. If you wanted to do for others, when we go to the other steps, okay, you select that particular ID. Now I wanted to run for this. This is the one. I'll go to change mode. In the change mode here, I'm going to click to add, okay, consolidation unit. So here we have to add all our consolidation. To which consolidation you wanted to run. Whether you wanted to run for all, you can run for all. You wanted to do for specific one only, you have to do it. So I'll say my company codes are BB66, SW66, FR66, then CA66, and then US66. These are my entities where I wanted to run. Okay. And which method it has to use. Here where you have to assign a method. The method contains a rule. Now we created a method. We are assigning a method to here. Okay. Rule is not directly linked. Rule we create, we assign to validation method. And validation method is linking to a consolidation unit with respect to a task. Fine.
So we did not use validation group here, no? I thought that validation group would have been a better thing.
Yeah. So here I'll save it. Okay. Select the period category. Sorry. Period. Save for all 16 period 9 period category. It is asking for a PR. Okay. Else. Is that clear? Okay. 1080. Validation of reported data. Here. Now I have done, I'll do a test run first. See here, it is run and it's showing you all the success. Okay. If you wanted to see the log, you can click here on the right button. You can navigate down. Okay. So here you have to select. There is an option success is not been selected default. You select. You can see. See, this is the reason I said you have to create a group. See here validation method. Under that group, under that this validation run. Say for example, another group you created. Under that, if you have 10, you can have, and it is showing the value. What is why I given a formula? Because it's showing equal. Here my left balance sheet was a credit. Okay, P&L was a debit. So I multiplied by -1. That is the reason it's showing as equal. Otherwise, it will show as a positive, right? If it show as a positive, obviously it says there is a difference, right? So that is the reason I'm making here with this value. So here where if you set a tolerance, you're asking question, right? If you set a tolerance, if it is within a tolerance, it comes here. What is the tolerance you have added also? If you click on here, you can see what is the formula you have done. We have done a formula. Balance sheet is equal to P&L multiplied by -1. So balance sheet value is this. P&L value is this. Okay. Then you are seeing here. If you want to click on this account details, system will come and show what account it is been fetching. For example, for analysis, if there are errors are there, where it went wrong, you wanted to check. Okay. So that is where you will going to select here.
The validation rule. Is there any scope for any custom variables? I mean, certain a weird requirement wherein the existing values cannot be used, and we have to use some custom variables. Wherein can we use some lab code and create some custom variable in the valuation rule?
Valuation rule. Which valuation you are talking, sir?
No, validation rule. Sorry.
Validation. If you wanted to write some BAPIs inside that and all, you can do it. For example, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Oh,
is it fine to all? So this is all the part of validation. So however you wanted to make it your rules and do it, you can do all that validation. I did it in a test run. So as I said, it will not going to post any entry. It is just a validation activity it performs. I'll do it in update run. Okay. Because I did it in test run, the symbols are not been updated. Now it is successful. You can see all got updated. So here, next part is, see, once we validated, you find there are some issues are available. Okay. What you can do is you can go and do the manual correction for this. That means there is an Fury is available. Fury app is available where you can post directly data to AC.Q. That means it is not required to again post it in AC.R and move to AC.Q. You can directly post it in AC.Q. That is what it says, manual standard postings. Okay, through this, we are going to do it. We have an app called Post Group Journal. This is also redirect to the same app, or you can go out of this and you can do the manual group journals. So I'll show that now. So in order to do any postings, you should understand few of the things. So that is where we'll understand the posting levels and document type. So whenever we post it, whatever it was posting, it was taking a document type. We have seen at eye level what document types are deriving. Now, when you are doing manual postings also, you need to have the document types available by the system. So as we said, we are going to make postings at different levels. Okay. So the document type identify the type and source of data. For example, it is a reported data is stored on different document types. Then elimination. That means every activity what we perform, like in finance, we have a document type. In group reporting also, for everything, we have a document type. Document type are used in various consolidation settings, task and report. That means everywhere we use a document type. The system creates a document for all data records in the system. We know that. Document types are off the shelf. You can create your own. That means if you wanted to use something other than SAP delivered, you can use that also. Document types definitely assigned to the number ranges. So in every document type, we have a posting level. What is that posting level identifies? Posting level provides a built-in audit trail. That means that is basically used, say, for example, in elimination or in any activity, I may have 10 different document types, but all will have one posting level. That is how we identify for any auditing purpose. If I wanted to see the elimination data, take this posting level. That's how system also differentiated it. The reclassification of journal entries with posting levels serves as an aid to the user for selecting the data. That means whenever you wanted to select also, when you wanted to do reclassify anything, you can use posting level. When you have a if instead of writing 10 document type, you can write one posting level. postings levels are built into the solution. By specific posting, when you're selecting the data, you can evaluate individual steps of the consolidation process in your consolidation report. That's how you can do your reporting. So here you can see these are the posting levels for a document type. So example, blank data released from AC Docker. We have seen, so whatever data released from AC Docker, it updated as a blank as a posting level. So that is here in the screen, right? So here, if you see the data, whatever released from AC Docker, in this company code we have data which is released from AC Docker. You can see here, this is the AC Docker data. These are the two which came from the AC Docker. Okay. Document type 0F. Okay. Posting level is blank. Okay. And here, data, whatever we uploaded, document type it has taken as 00. Okay. Posting level is 000. Okay. Whatever we have done, got it. So here the data document type posting level, here the 0F posting level, blank data. That is what we are trying to understand here, right? So blank posting level, adjustment entry for universal document. Say for example, the document flow from an universal and you wanted to do an adjustment. You use a document type and you will have a posting level. Adjustment for reported data. That means whatever data you uploaded, for that you wanted to do an adjustment. Okay. Again, posting level, again, this is for consolidation group change. Okay. These are the different document type or posting level, which is available in SAP, which we use it for different purposes. Okay. We use it for different. Let's go to the system and understand what all the document types are available. The 0F and all, we already seen when I am doing my universal journal only. I told how that is getting updated, right? So here you can see different document types for reported financial data, different document for manual posting in data monitor, different document type for reclassification, consolidation group change, manual posting in consolidation monitor, reclassification. These are all where a document types option is there where you can do it. Now, what we are trying to do here is define document type for reported financial data. That means whatever the document type what system has posted. So for that, we are taking, these are the document types. Okay, in this document type, for example, 00, uploaded reported data, manual input, manual correction, annual net income correction. This is what it is posted, annual net income 05. This is what it is posted. Rounding, okay, external reported data, investment control data. These are the words. Okay, so if I say here, manual input reported data, if I go into this, you find a number range, okay, and you find a auto reversal and no auto reversal, okay. No reversal, that means whatever I posted, if I have to reverse on the next day, that is where we set as a auto reversal. And if you select on the document type, any document type, you have this configuration where a posting level is assigned to this, okay. Whether the balance should check, that means debit minus credit balance should check or not, is what it is. No balance check means even if you do a debit 100, credit 50, it allows. If you say balance check, system will going to check the balances, and give the warnings. Okay. Business application, online data entry, in which all currencies it allows. Okay. And it is an automatic. Automatic means you cannot post it manually. System will only do the posting to this. Okay. Clear. And for this, the associate number ranges, if you wanted to auto reversal, is what we are going to do it here. Define document types for manual postings in data monitor. So for example, here, manual correction for universal journal, manual correction for reported data, okay, manual input corrections, manuals, for example, this is one of the correction, this is one of the correction. These are the different document types we are going to use it, okay. Here the posting level, if you see, it is 0C. This is the number ranges, okay, 01, 02, these are the ones. So here 01 is where we see translate in group currency. This is, okay, these are the ones. And then 04, you can see reported deactivated checks, no balance check, online data entry, manual input corrections, manual standard corrections, where you say GW, no revenue, 10 MJE. This is my standardizing data, post in local currency and manual. This is the one. Sorry, clear? So here, if I again come back here, 18, again, it is posting level standardizing entry, error if balance check, other manual. Okay. So here if you see 01, 0C reported data deactivated checks, right? This is, okay, now these are the different document types. So these document types is what we are going to use it when we post it here, the journals. Let me come back to the Fury app here. Where is the post group journals. So this is a Fury app. Okay. Here, click on create here, where you will have this one. Okay. So here, say for example, if I select here a document type, okay, I select a document type for manual correction universal journal. Okay. So whenever I select manual correction universal journal, okay, if I try to see here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a manual correction for a universal journal that is 01. Okay. So if I say a manual standard currency for local document type, for example, if I have to use this, say every document types serves a specific purposes. Okay. Every document type serves a specific purposes. So if I select earlier, if you see, there is an option where you can select the document which you wanted to post it to extended version. When I select this particular document type, okay, that is 11 manual standard local currency, it was not allowing me to do it. Got it? So first let's post an entry to manual correction universal journal. Then we will discuss other point. Here I'll select my consolidation unit. What is my consolidation unit? BB66 only I'll post. 66. Okay. So here we have to give always an FS item. Okay. Always you have to give an FS item. I'll select something for rental income. Okay. So as when I select FS item, sub item category, everything will come automatically. Okay. Here I'll say 100 euro. Okay. And I'm going to debit the cash on hand, for example. Say debit and credit are identified based on the sign here. There is no posting key concept here, right? If I give it as a minus, system consider it as a this one. So here I'll give 100 and I'll give 100 here. See, this is a manual correction entry which system will going to take it into the system if I post it. Okay. Is that clear? That is manual correction of universal journal entry. If I will not post it now, I just wanted to show you some differences. So manual correction of universal journal is whatever the universal journal data which you have released, for that it is showing the value. Clear? Okay. Now I will use this 02 document type. I'll come back. I'll not post one by once we do all, then we'll start posting it. 10 is the one. I'll select the correction reported data. Like this 10, 6, FS item N4, say here 100, and then I will do. See here, you have to observe here. As soon as I used the earlier document type 01, system has not generated this additional 2 line items. Okay, these 2 line items. What is this 2 line items? Can anybody tell what is this 2 line items? It got generated additionally, and why it is generated?
One was the retained earning, which was posted when you activated that net income task.
Why it is came here?
Maybe because journal entry will have impact on those FS item will have impact on retained earnings. So these are automatically posted when we post journal entry on the FS item related to P&L.
See now I already closed my books and did a net income calculation. Okay, so with that assumption, I'm selecting here a specific document type. When I select that particular specific document type and post it, where I'm crediting or debiting my P&L to a balance sheet, which is affecting my current year return earnings. So that is the reason system automatically generating additional 2 rows, which is affecting to this one. So if I select this document type, it is happening. Whereas if I select manual correction for universal journal, that means when you will do this activity, manual correction of universal journal, you do it before, for example, before your net income calculation. That is the reason, if you see here the configuration of 01 to 10, here reported data deactivated checks. Okay. If you see here the 10.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, You are transforming your SAP expertise.
Here, standardizing entry. So getting my point? Because this is a posting level, and here balance check, we say error if balance is not 0 and business application is 9 other. Whereas here also, you have to business application remain, balance check, error if balance is not 0, report. This means this posting level, whatever is there, reported data deactivated checks. This will not going to check whether it has been affected or not. Now we have selected this. That is the reason system checking. That means once you do your activity, manual, standardized, local currency, whatever you are trying to edit, okay, system is making an entry. That is, system is moving the balance that back to return earnings. If you do this entry, system consider that this is you are doing before it. So that is the reason it is not moving the balance to the return earnings account. Got it? Yeah. I'll say create. See, this entry, whenever you make it, okay, document is created. This is a document number. Okay. Line items, as usual, you can see it. So when you do any manual journals, you have to be careful that what entry you are performing. According to that, you have to select those particular numbers. Okay. So here, coming back to the other document type 01. Okay. The settings also I showed it to you how it will be taken, for example, before to that. Here, the next part is if I have to post it to an extended version. Okay. See here, if I have to post it to an extension version, okay. For example, I'll select here 12. Okay. And if I see whether in the correction I can make it to an extension version, if you search here, you don't find anything. You don't find anything. Okay. If I say universal journal entry or reported data, for example, I select this one, manual correction reported data. Based on the document type selection, what I did, okay, here it doesn't find any data because it is a reported data related one. If I say the entry of manual correction universal journal, okay, where you also observe there is a versions, which got a version. Say, for example, I wanted to post it in an extension version. Okay, I'll select that version. Okay, and I'll give here BB66. And this version stores only the difference of data. Okay, if I don't make a difference, it will not going to post. And you got a column here also, amount to be posted in currency extension version. Can you see here? Amount in group currency version. Okay, I don't want to post here and disturb my data. That is the reason I'm not posting. In real time, I'm telling. For example, you are posting any correction to universal journal where you wanted to make an entry to an extension version. Okay, that differences is what it will going to capture here if you post here. Okay, and when I post to a main version and extension version in the same document, system generate, because here it will generate one number in extension version and in another one it will going to generate another number, right? So for both combining, it will generate one bundle number. It will going to generate one bundle number. That is a unique number which connects both. Okay, whenever you wanted to reverse, you can just reverse on the bundle number, which will going to reverse it back to both. Okay, say I will not going to post it, but I'll show you the simulation in here. Amount in group currency, amount in extension version currency automatically came. So what difference amount I wanted to post? Say, for example, I wanted to post 20. Is that value I have to give it to there? Okay, then I'll say apply. Okay, then I'll come to my balance sheet and here I'll select my cash on minus 0 to view start not in the end. Here, as usual, you'll have extension version. I'll say 20. Okay, so this is how the entry looks for us. Right? Here, there is no additional rows got created. If I click on create, it will post an entry. I don't want to get disturbed by data because I have to run few more steps. Okay, this is how I'll say create. If you have posted a document, okay, and if you wanted to reverse it back, there is an option. I'll select here, say reverse. I'll say reverse, it will go into reverse end. Okay, if you wanted to copy and create, as usual, you have an option to do it. This is what a post group journal entries. Even if you use this particular app, okay, even if you use this particular app, okay, you select BB66 and say update on our test run. It opens the particular step only. Here it opened, but where consolidation unit is grayed out. Okay, you see, because you are doing it, the document type also got selected automatically. 11, right? 11 also got selected automatically. Whatever manual postings, whatever system has given, these document types is what only you are viewing it here. You are not using anything wherever the manual ones are available with respect to that particular, only you are viewing it. If you are doing with post group journal, you can select anything, but it is again the same activity part. Okay. So as soon as I did this, you can see here, I clicked it, it becomes successful. You got my point. So again, say for your business user, like I'm just telling both option. You can go and directly do it here also. If you say restrict your business user only to do this mode so that they don't select wrong document types and make the posting, you can give access from here only where they have to select and redirect so that they will not select the wrong document type, nor they will not select the relevant. So here, if you use a document type and try to post, it should move the balance to a retained earnings account also. So that is the reason we are doing it here. Clear? Any doubt in this? Okay. And that is next part. And the other part here is mass upload. Yes, there is an option where you can do a mass upload. That means SAP has given a tool or an Excel format like however you have in finance, also where you can load the JVs. This also there is an option where you have an import journal entries, display group, post group journal entries. You have an import group journal entries where you can go and download the template. Okay. And then you can fill out the template and load it. Template selection, download template. Here again, when you download it, whether it's for manual correction, two-sided elimination, group dependent. Now we don't understand what is two-sided elimination, group dependent. Manual correction, say download, close. Okay. So here where you can, as I selected this one, where whatever the manual journal, so you select entry ID, then you put the data in the sheet and upload through this app. Browse and upload. Fine.
Yes, this user would have been using the template more than posting it directly, right?
Yes, like if you have, say, group reporting, right, set entry will be very minimal. Okay, not like your financial JV where you have so much you have to upload. Okay, entry is very minimal until unless you have some specific part which you made it as a practice to run every month to load the information that you use this.
Don't you think, I mean, after making this manual corrections, we have to run the validation again?
Why? If you wanted to run, you can go and run. For example, if there is an error because of that, you have done this correction entry. If you wanted to go and run, you can run it again.
We can run it again, right?
Yes. So hope you are clear. See here, one more thing is, it's like here in the document type, we understood document type, posting level. We understood the number range. If you wanted to set auto reversal, where we said, that part is one. Till now, we have not come to the situation where we have an auto reversal scenario, right? So we don't have a scenario where we do auto reversal. So that is the reason we didn't do that in detail. We will discuss that other part. And these are the places where you say this and all I have shown when I do my data monitor release itself. I've showed this where it command updated 0F, how it got updated, where posting level is blank. All this I've showed in the data monitor part only, but I've not gone in detail of the document type because I wanted to explain in this part. So we have covered that. Right. So after understanding this posting the group journal entries, you have not asked one question. That is, for example, if I wanted to make a field status, which we are in finance, I can make mandatory, optional, suppress, all that I can make it. How can I do for the fields when I am making an entry in the group reporting? So that question, nobody has not asked. So there is no field status set for here in the system. Okay, we have to write a validation and substitution. Through validation and substitution, that is validation only for group journals. It is nothing to do with your GGB0 or GGB1, which you do it in finance. Basically, finance FICO consultant generally. So we have a separate way we write a validations with a separate app, and then we are going to validate. For example, I wanted to make some transaction. I want a profit center to be a mandate. For example, I'm just telling. So I have to write a validation rule for that, and I have to make sure that users are keying in the document. Okay, so that's how only I can control it. There is no set a specific field status set what we going to do it here. So in order to do that, there is a validation where you can see here define in the configuration of our manage. Here there is an option called manage validation bar substitution for group reporting. Here you are finding an option. Through this app, you can do validation as well as substitution. So we'll do now one validation and one substitution, and we will going to check that. Okay. So here where you say create rule. When I say create rule, you get a substitution or a validation. Now I wanted to do a validation. I'll select here a validation rule. Here I wanted to do it for journal entry item. Okay, event is it automatically selected as a journal entry item. I'll say validation rule, say create. So here what I'm trying to do here validation is whenever I wanted to book for an expense or income FS item, okay, with respect to a specific version, because I have to mention a version. Otherwise, if I don't do a version, it's applicable for all versions. Okay, if you say if you wanted to applicable for all version, you can make it for all version. Otherwise, here I have to make it to my version only. Otherwise, it will get disturbed to your version only. Also, right? Where I'll say profit center should not be an empty. Okay, so for that I'll say here B66 profit center validation rule name I'm giving. Here the functions I'm going to select here. So here in the field function when I'm selecting, as usual you have here in the financial statement item type. Say I want a financial statement item means I have to keep giving everything. So I wanted to give financial statement item type functions. So here if I say financial statement, where I will say here in the financial statement item, okay, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say it as financial transaction type statement type. Area plus item attribute.
Maybe check if search helps.
Financial transaction type.
Just write type. This rule, it should have this natural language processing. Only type should help.
Financial statement item type. Yeah, this one.
It has got AI.
No. Financial statement item type equal to, what is that equal to? EXP is for expense. Okay. That is all. How I'm selecting is, we are selecting specifically what we are selecting, P&L items. So P&L items, FS item is what I'm trying to take here. Financial statement item type equal to INC. Okay. So these two, okay, it will give an error. What is a control error, warning, whatever you want, error. Okay. Where I say whenever precondition, whenever I do the posting to this, what it has to validate. Here where in the, again, if you wanted to, I said that we'll do it for my specific version. So I'll give consolidation version also. Otherwise, it will keep asking for your version. So I'll say consolidation version. Here I'll say it is what is my version, B66. And I will give here validation as profit center. This is partner profit center. This is profit center.
The descriptions are different in every profit center.
So I will use the generic profit center where I'll say it should not be empty. This is not empty. Okay. This is a validation I'm doing. I'll save it and I'm activating it. I activated it. Okay. Now if I go to my post group journals, journal entries, create document type, whatever you want to cancel because it's applicable for all document. If you wanted to restrict to specific document type also, you can restrict to different document type, anything you wanted to do it. Now, BB66, I'll give here for rental income. Okay. Here, if I go, there's an error. Okay. Here, and this is what one error. If I go cancel that error, here, value for profit center does not compare with validation rule, BB66 PC. This is what your validation rule, BB66 PC, what you are getting here, right?
So where is the area where the user has to put profit center here, or that has to be done through some other settings?
No. Here only. Here there is a fields are available, right? So now I'll go. Here you have field profit center. It is mandatory design. I'll select here whatever profit centers I want. No error ready. Up. Fine. Yeah. Sure. Now, so if I again write another row, for that row also it will validate. Cash on hand. For balance sheet, I have not written any logic. I written only for P&L. So balance sheet, even if I don't give a profit center, it is not checking. Right? Got it? See here I have done validation only for a balance sheet, not for P&L. Sorry, only for P&L, not for balance sheet. So I've entered a balance sheet, it is not checking any validation. Fine. So this is how whatever way fields you wanted to make it mandatory, you use this validation logic and you are going to make it. You can use a substitution logic also and substitute it. If you don't want to make a validation, you can make it a substitution. For example, instead of user key instead of that I will make a substitute to do it, you can do it. So how we can do a substitution rule is what we'll understand now. Any doubt in validation? Okay. So now we are creating a substitution rule, right? So I'll select here substitution. Okay. Say create B66 substitution rule. B66 substitution rule. Okay. So here field is segment. What I'm trying to do here is I wanted to make, for example, a segment as a validation. Okay. So if segment is a blank, I wanted to take a default value to that particular one. Simple I'm doing. Again, if you say for specific profit centers, I wanted to default a profit center, all that is your logic. Okay, our cost center you want it to be whatever you say. As a segment, precondition is if segment is empty. Okay. If it is not empty, then I don't want to do it. Okay. If it is an empty, then I'll say my consolidation version as consolidation version, because I don't want to get affect people who do. Again, they'll come, they'll disturb my configuration. So I'll do whatever you do for practice, try to restrict to your consolidation version only. In real time, if you say it should applicable for all, you don't need to restrict. Here it is a testing system. Try to keep that consolidation version restriction so that your validation and substitution should not affect to other people's. Right? So in the target field, I'll say if I've told if it is a blank, then I'll say here you have to substitute segment, substitute as one value. What is that value? Segments we are adding. Okay. I'll make this as a 1. I'll save it active. Fine. If the segment is blank, it should pull up this. Fine. I'll go here and say create one more entry. And again, I'll select here a document type. I'll go for then obviously first it is validated for my profit center. Okay. I'll give you a 100 center. Okay. Segment can is here as it is blank already loaded. Getting my point here? Before I say segment blank. Here there is no logic for deriving a segment. So as it is blank, it is taking up the value. Right? And I have not
This segment here in GR, is it supposed to come from profit center master data, or how is it?
if you are doing it from source, it is a profit center master data. Sir, here we don't have in the profit center, we don't link a segment. A segment and profit center, two different aspects. Okay. In this consolidation master data field, we are not putting that logic. Okay. So here, as I have not put a specific to a balance sheet. Okay. Sorry, P&L, whereas it was based on a balance sheet. Sorry, P&L is what I did a validation, whereas this validation I have not done. I just said it is a blank. Okay. So it is appearing in my balance sheet at once. Got it? Because I have not restricted here in the substitution specific to balance sheet or P&L. Okay. Whereas my earlier one, I have restricted to this. Okay.
One more question. Suppose if I wanted to say the profit center has to come from, the segment has to come from profit center master data, then should we write code here, or how do we?
That is what I'm trying to say. If you have to derive from master data, you have to do that from finance module. Here you don't maintain a profit center master data. If you see here, where is my consolidation master data fields? In the consolidation master data field, this isn't where if I have to set my master data, I'll go here into a profit center. Profit center is just a profit center, right? Here, there is no option where you link a segment. If you create in group reporting a profit center master data, if you are created in finance, you have a segment linked to that and data flow from there. In group reporting, you don't have that. You've got to the point. A profit center and segment are two independent master datas. Okay. So based on a profit center, you cannot derive a segment here because it is not the master data connected like my FICO module. Okay. Whenever you put a data, you have to select and do it. Otherwise, you have to write a validation. If this profit center, this should be a segment. If this is a profit, that you have to achieve through your validation, where user will not select a wrong segment. Got it?
Can we not maintain attribute? I thought that in the previous screen, the arrow through after clicking on this arrow, we can maintain attribute. I was of that way.
Which attribute?
Oh, there is no possibility of adding any attribute here. Say segment as an attribute of profit center.
No. You cannot. This is all delivered standard SAP. You cannot add. Yeah.
But again, so whatever profit center we can, I hope on the left hand side, whatever these numbers, these are all the profit centers, right? So this has come from where? Can we bring it from S4, or how do we have to?
This I have already explained in the first session itself, day before. If it is an integrated system, whatever you created, it will come here. If you are loading for SAP data, you are going to set up whatever the profit center available, other than the system where you are running the group reporting. So in those cases, those profit centers you create it manually here. For the cost centers, what is coming from that? Otherwise, if you are created in finance module, that also will be available here to see if it is in the same system.
If it is in the integrated model, so whatever profit center we can see here, I mean, that will come automatically, or do we need to do anything? Like, I mean, is there
It will
any
come
trigger for that?
automatically. It will
It will come out. So that will not have the entire master data's attributes. Like, I mean,
Yes.
how it will have,
Yes.
right?
No, it will not have. Only the codes will be there.
Only the
Profit
codes
center.
will be there.
Mm.
Okay.
It will not have all the attributes. So if you are posting there, that data it will take, and it will
Okay.
code only, it will check the vendor. Why you give description, you give segment, all you segment come as a separate part.
I think this is a bit different from what it was in BPC, where we could have the attributes of profit center.
So this is the part of our data which has come earlier. Now the last step, which is looking at a step left out in data monitor, is currency translation. Okay, where we have to translate our, for example, now we have in this version we are consolidating in euro, right? So other than euro, we have two company codes, Canada and US, that we have to do a translation and calculate a translation difference. Again, translation difference calculation is an accounting standard logic where we have to calculate by keeping a reference rate. We are going to calculate the translation and do the translation differences and update in the system. Okay, that is where that means it will convert whatever USD and the Canada company codes are there. For that, it will do it. And we have a group currency extension version where it has been having an SAR as a currency, right? So in that case, euro, SAR, everything should get converted into SAR. So we will be configuring translation method and we'll assign to this particular step, so that when we run the translation, all data will get converted into USD and update. That is what our translation part is, the one activity left out in data monitor. So I'll be taking up this translation because it is a long time of it takes time to explain the concept, even if I start all the topics. Here again, we divided into following parts: historic, non-historic, and P&L. Okay, so historic FS items are the FS items of balance sheet, non-historic are the few FS item of balance sheet, and P&L item. So what generic rule, what we apply according to the reporting standards, we apply that and do it. So in your configuration, you may have little to say, for example, I say translation difference I'm calculating. Your business may say, I don't need a translation difference, just you convert a value with one rate and close it. Then you just calculate it. As a part of some gap or some report, IFRS reporting standard, translation differences we need to calculate by keeping some reference value. What is the change in the currency happening? The translation difference we have to calculate and post it. So we'll understand that detailed topic. So according to your requirement, you will go into configure when you go for a project. So that is what the currency translation step we're going to do it in the next session. So if I do that, this entire data monitor activity will get completed. Next, we have to go to a consolidation monitor. In the consolidation monitor, we have elimination of intercompany. Okay. So once we understand the elimination, then consolidation of investment. Okay.
Yeah, actually, it is related to document type for consolidation purpose. So the thing which we are facing currently is that I'm part of the plan consolidation. Okay. So some data is going from AC.P with 0F document type. Okay. Now, due to some reason, some SAP's constraint, another flow was designed from SSE to group reporting with document type 03. Okay. Now this document type 03 is creating issue in AC.Q for our consolidation. And that's why I asked the question that I want to delete it. But as per our discussion, nothing can be deleted in AC.Q because of this document type and all. Right?
You can reset entire thing.
So if I have to reset document type 03, can I do it alone, or I have
only no. You cannot do only alone. You have to do for entire versions.
Okay.
The entire version is not specific to document. You can.
Then it will actually reset whole system with all the data.
With that, because here when we copy transaction data flexible upload. Here, if you see, there are options here. Okay. Post and display copy transactional data. Okay. Here where you can go. If you wanted to copy from one version to another version, you can copy here. Delete target data first before there's an option to reset target data. Okay. You can try with this option in your quality environment. You can. Here we are saying to copy from one version to another version. Okay. Delete target data first. That means before you copy, if you wanted to delete anything, you can try this option. Whether it will work.
And in document type, do we have that option of not equal to here itself? Yes. There's
Here you try
not
here.
included.
So you can try here. You can raise one SAP note also if they have anything they new. Choose a
Okay.
posting level. Okay. You can give all that and then you can try.
Sure.
If it is okay, delete all of that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because in planning we can delete anything anytime. So
In AC doc P, you can delete that. And that
Yes.
will be discussed, right? So here
Yes.
after going to AC doc Q is what you're asking.